Impeccable as always, Nate. Impeccable. Anyway, thank you. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Blunderbuss Special. This is another episode. I'm glad for you to join us. Thank you. As with me as always is the illustrious Nate.
How's it going?
And this is on more of our series of just doing movies. We just literally got back from the theater from watching Ghost in the Shell. Usually we don't do new movies, but me and Nate, we just wanted to go see this. Okay, before we go on, there's going to be spoilers. We're going to spoil the shit out of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Granted.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a review. Of course we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
But granted, this is the equivalent of, hey, you know that sandwich is bad. Don't eat that bad sandwich. And we're keeping you from getting sick to your stomach. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
This is... Like, don't eat that spoiled sausage. Are you sure? Is it? No, don't. That's been out all day. You know, this is the equivalent of the burning dumpster fire of this shitty movie. You know what the worst part is? It's a beautiful movie. It's visually, it's beautiful.
I mean, it's almost like they were trying to show off. Like in some of the stuff, you know,
like it's kind of like Blade Runner, like that kind of like futuristic. Like there's these crazy advertisements of the
holograms, you know, like the koi fish, you know, there's giant koi fish
and they
just
have like
swimming across the the crosswalk and shit.
Yeah,
you know,
they have the giant geisha, and she's like throwing water into the street and cascading. It's beautiful.
You know, that's like literally half the height of the high rise that it's in front of, kind of shit.
Scarlett Johansson's beautiful as always. You know, and of course, she doesn't. If the writing wasn't so shitty, she would actually make a great major, at least a good major.
Well, you did say it was the Ghost of the Shell that we watched, right?
Yes, I did say we're watching Ghost of the Shell.
I don't know. I just been stewing since we
because me and Nate, we have a thing. We gotta we just watch this movie and we're like, we can't say shit about the movie. We gotta get this on tape because not all our vinegar is gonna be wasted on the Krover. Okay, how about this? When we were at the theater and they have the giant Topo Chico bottles of mineral water, I was more excited about that than I am to watching this movie. I was like, oh, they sell the big mineral waters here. That's awesome. This movie's a burning shit pile. By the way, could I have another one? That was delicious.
Yeah, you drank 2 of those giant bottles, man. It's like you're just kind of all over that shit.
You're gonna calcify my. But anyway,
well, I mean, I went into the movie with low expectations,
as you should.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. It's like I did think that. I thought that it was Keith Sutherland playing fucking Bato.
I thought she was like, no, that's an English dude.
Yeah, no, it's a big dude. He was a big dude. Which they got that right, but
they got the Bato thing right. But of course, like I said, spoilers,
to a certain extent. To a certain extent.
Like I said, more spoilers. If you're expecting us to, we're shitting all over this movie. There's gonna be shit ton of spoilers. He has regular eyes at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the movies, there's
and then they stick some tiny Nikons in his fucking face.
Which honestly, that was fine. And then of course,
it was not. That's not how that. That's not how that shit was in the show.
In the show, they had little, of course,
it looks like they just drove what was it, like steel studs into his face, which I always thought was interesting because how do you see out of that fucking block of metal on your face, kind of shit, For me, that just kind of added to that element of the sci-fi factor kind of shit, because it's not an optic. It's.
But of course, like I said, and of course, if you watch a show, you're like, no, Bato didn't lose his eyes there. Bato lost, because he was in Special Forces.
Special Forces.
Special Forces. Yeah,
yeah, he was Special Forces. There was a Special Forces augment, is what it was.
And of course, the Major also. They really took a lot of liberties. Like, you know what? It's kind of like they watched the show and they're like, everything. You know what? Visually, everything was good in the show. Awesome in the show. Like they have the lady with her.
Oh, when they show
the
typing
and she has the 25 finger or whatever.
Yeah, but the only thing was like watching it's like they were just the same exact. It's like they weren't like typing. Like in the anime show, like you see it
and they're like.
It's going fast, but you can almost literally see how it's like literally typing different stuff. It just looks like when you watch a movie and they've got a hacker on there that doesn't know how to fucking type. That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it looked like. Okay, for me, the movie, it was basically, it's like, okay, we've got this crap movie. But there's this awesome show, which we're going to fuck into submission, and then just totally, like, peel its flesh off, and then wrap it around this crap movie.
You know what?
That's what it was for me.
We need a futuristic cyber, ripoff of RoboCop, and that's what we need to do with the movie. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to be in Japan, even though there's only one actor that's Japanese.
Well, no. Okay, you know what, Togusa? They got Togusa's gun right.
They got it right, yeah. And
the gun was right. The gun was right.
Of course,
because that's a crazy gun.
Yeah, there's Naramaki, like the.
I liked how he busted out the hog leg, man.
Yeah.
It's like he went old school with that shit.
And that actor, I can't tell you his name. I'll look.
Oh man, I've seen him in several things.
I've seen him. Like I saw him in Outrage and Beyond Outrage.
You know what he was in? Oh god damn it, he was in Johnny Mnemonic.
Was he the assassin?
No, he was the guy that was the head of Pharmacom.
No.
Pharmacom or whatever, the one that the spirited that chick that was dead. She kept Takahashi. That was his name in the movie. She's like, Takahashi. She's like, you know what you're doing is wrong. It's like you need to save people instead of hurting them and stuff or whatever the fuck it was. That's where I knew him from.
His name's Takeshi Kitano?
Takeshi?
Yeah, Takeshi.
Let me see that.
Takeshi Kitano.
Yeah.
Because I saw
Takeshi.
him. I saw him in a gangster Japanese movie called it was Outrage, and then the next one was Beyond Outrage. And it was about a Japanese mob boss and crazy yakuza shit. And
because he had that very stone expression.
And honestly, in the Outrage and Beyond Outrage, that was actually a pretty good movie. Actually, like because I don't want to spoil. Actually, I feel more bad spoiling Outrage and Beyond Outrage than this.
Well, anyways,
this diaper full of Indian food. This is just
oh my god, that just sounds horrible, Bob, and I was there.
You know what?
Oh god, the curry.
Even if you didn't know
so much curry.
If you didn't know anything about Ghost in the Shell, there's still things that bothered you, like because Ghost in the Shell, it's in Japan because it's Japanese cyberpunk.
Yeah,
and the thing is there's and you expect stuff would be written in Japanese, which there is some of it, but there's other stuff
kanji
written in English, and I'm like, why is that written in English? That makes no sense. Why is that written in English?
Well, it's more of very specific things were written in English text instead of kanji that would not be in English text.
Like
and
we were expecting, like the company name Hanka, and there's plenty of Japanese names that are written in English, because they're a worldwide company, and it's like Honda's written in English,
which Honda had its plug with its weird little motorcycle, which I think they could have done a better job on.
Is it weird? Like they had the weird little stripe, like for the red light. And it kind of made Scarlett Johansson looks like she has like a baboon ass.
When she was breaking.
yeah, and I was like, it's a cool scene, but it made me think you're looking at a red pussy, just like leaning over the bike. But of course
that's not till the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's not till the end of the movie. And of course, there's a part where like
just so you're not disappointed in the beginning.
Yeah. Like there's a part where and this is another thing that bothered me. First, like I said, they. Like in Ghost of the Shell, I believe Motoko. She's the reason why she's in a cybernetic body because she had degenerative disease, right? She was a degenerative disease, and they moved her into cybernetic body. And that
she was a kid.
Yeah, when she was a kid.
Something like that, or it was an accident or something.
I thought it was a degenerative disease, and then they moved her into like a different body each time. It's kind of like moving a shoe. Of course, granted.
Well, and that's something that they addressed throughout the whole span of the seasons.
Yeah, and they talk about like when you
because it's like because as she grew, even though technically all she was physically, organically was just a brain, but having to move from this age body to this age body to this age body, it was painful.
Yeah,
and it's like she would have to like relearn how to do everything. But she wasn't one of the first though.
No, okay. In this movie,
first full cyberized.
In the first movie, they said so like, "Oh, you're the first. You were built to kill whatever." You know, but I was like, no, it was because at this time, in the whole Ghost in the Shell, that was a normal thing. Like that was like if I like
it was kind of a transition. It was fair. It was pretty normal, but there were still people hold out. You know, like. Well,
I know there's like bums who like in the standalone complex with the Laughing Man thing. There were like bums that weren't cyberized that actually saw the dude's face.
Yeah. And that was one of the big things because he was the Laughing Man was hacking people. Well, it wasn't the Laughing Man. It was the goddamn what was it? The corporate company or whatever, or the other cyber crimes.
Yeah,
people committing cyber crimes. They were hacking people's brains. Well, no, he did it too, but to blank out
their eyes,
the face and stuff, you know.
And they made in this movie they made her seem like they purposely built her. To go for, I guess, as a weapon, which that's what I mean. It was very like RoboCop-ish.
Yeah.
Like, you're the first. Like no. Like they had. I remember in the show they had other people that like in Ghost of the Shell. They had the one guy. I want to say he was the guy from he was like a man from Texas. He was fully cyberized, but he was like a box with like.
Oh yeah!
Remember, he was like a robot box with a little robot arm.
Yeah,
yeah. He's like, "Howdy, y'all! I'm from Texas," and of course, he just looked like a
box with like 4 little legs and 2 like skinny little like arms with claws on the ends of them.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He just looked like a shitty robot crab. That's what he looked like.
Yeah, he ran that organ company.
Yeah,
where they would take your DNA and graft it onto a pig, and then they would raise the pig. And then if there was any problems, they can sit there, and that pig is a genetic match for you, so they can sit there and give you its organs and not have to worry about rejection and all kind of shit.
But
and then what did he say? He's like, yeah, my family's not too happy about it. You know, it's like just to make money, I ended up selling my own body for profit for organs. It's like, what the fuck? Shit.
But in the movie, they make it seem like, oh, she's the first of her kind, and then you find out she's not the first of the kind.
No.
Because they're doing a whole, well, there's a bunch of movies where they steal children off the street and use them for genetic testing. There's a bunch of movies like that. But they kind of plug this. And, of course, they try to shoehorn a whole bunch of other emotions, which I didn't approve. Like, why are they shoehorning, like, like Motoko, she was a runaway, and they stole her from the outlaw, and then they did experiments on her.
But then they told her it's like, her and her parents, they were refugees on a boat coming in. It's like, look, okay,
and then
there's too many fucking things you're trying to fucking throw in here.
Why even put anything like just do the original show? Ghost in the Shell was an awesome movie.
Yeah,
I don't understand why you have to like pig fuck like all that shit up in there. Like, why didn't you?
Yeah. What, you didn't even have to do backstory at all, because you don't even really get any backstory. You get bits and pieces of backstory throughout the show. The thing is, as you watch the show, you accept the show for what it is, because it's a smart show. It's a very, very smart and a very intelligent show. Like, it's a show that makes you think.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Did they have to dumb it down?
Yeah, they made
plebes,
it. Yeah, they made it dumb, is what they did. I mean, come on, it's like As a kid, she was cyberized, and then she grew up. So, but she's like all of a sudden, she's like some runaway kid. They cyberize her, and a year later, she's this master hacker and all this other fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck
and she's
out of
also
here.
A major. She also jumped up a bunch of rank.
Yeah.
And of course, like in the show, she's a major because that was her career.
Yeah, she was military and shit. And then she was recruited into Section 9, which was a completely secret organization. It was a completely underground government organization.
Well, I thought it was actually a regular. Like, it was kind of like the CIA, where they have it's not so secret. People know about it, but honestly, a lot of
it's more of rumor, because it's like because there's parts where they're sitting there and they have to like assist the police or the military or something like that, or JSDA, and they were just like, Section 9's real. Yeah. It's like, I thought that was all just propaganda bullshit.
But then, of course, in the movie,
because they were so specialized,
yeah,
so specialized unit.
They were in cyber warfare. Kind of thing. But then the movies are like the company that built the major.
They're damn near running Section 9. Get the fuck out of here! Come on, man.
Kid, really? Is this? Are they sponsored by Target? Or or
brought to you by the Target conglomerate.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on, get the fuck out of here, man.
Tanaka Industries,
Yeah, shit, Hanko, whatever the fuck that's, corporation was.
Hunka, yeah.
It's like fucking going in there threatening Aramaki. Get the fuck out of here, man. He ain't gonna take shit off you. Especially that guy playing Aramaki, man.
Especially that guy. And honestly,
just pistol whip your ass with his cock.
and that's the kind of got me the fact that like he was Japanese and he was straight Japanese. And of course, I want to say Togusa, he was also Japanese.
Yeah, he was Japanese. Tokusa was Japanese. They showed
Saito was Japanese, even though they showed Saito for
once, like
2 seconds.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like how they plugged that shit into his eye. I kind of just I was kind of hoping just for the eye patch look, and then just the really clean eye patch.
Apparently,
then it just comes up automatically with like 3 lenses.
Yeah, and it has the targeting information. No, apparently Nate, it's the downgraded version before he upgraded.
Yeah,
where he's got to plug in with the US Type B, so he's just gonna stick up in there. He hasn't upgraded yet. You know what? His Wi-Fi's down, so it's
it's actually got like the old school printer plug and
9-pin. He can't upload to Facebook, so he's got to do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah.
He actually has to write a letter and mail it.
What is this, Middle Ages? Holy shit!
What was it? Well, they had oh god damn it oh shit the dude now. This really fucking got me. I can't think of his name right now. In the movie they had him and he's like, yeah, I just had my liver replaced and shit so I can drink and not fuck my shit up. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. God damn it! What the hell is his name?
We're not going to remember that. We're talking about we were going to watch the show because we would just watch the movie. I was like, let's watch the show. No,
they didn't make him Japanese though. They didn't make him Japanese.
Honestly, that didn't bother me. Of course, they had the British chick. I don't remember the British chick.
No, there was no. The only female on the team was the major, and of course, that's just it. The way how they refer to her too. It's like the way instead of saying, it's like they would mix up saying the major and major.
Major, yeah,
and it's. I don't know. It's just really weird, like how they did it. It didn't sound natural.
No. Well, honestly, that movie is very unnatural.
This is true.
Like I said, it was just like they took like everything, the visual part of the movie, and they did Bato's car, Aramaki's car.
Which I mean, Bato's car.
Honestly, the cars were actually the guns were actually pretty badass. I have to say that. That's actually I was like.
The guns were cool, but when like the two guys that came out of the dumpster, the guns that they were running around with just looked weird.
Yeah, everything was like, well, it's a future. Like,
well, no, but even like when they showed it, like like the one like on the ground, it looked really thin with like this like fat center to it, and it was like what? It's like that. It just looked like some weird molded piece of plastic that they threw out there. So, but like the guns that they were using, I mean,
they were pretty. I actually had like there's a part of the movie where in Ghost in the Shell, right, where she's running after the hacker, and of course it's a very iconic scene where it's I guess the pool of water and the guy's running away.
Yeah.
And of course, granted, they were after that guy because that guy was,
he was just trying to assassinate some chick,
Yeah, but in the movie, it's literally a guy. They just the bad guy or the antagonist. He basically cyber hacked him, and he used him to kill
or at least try to assassinate
the doctor lady.
Yeah.
I'm just wait a minute. That guy just why is he running? Why is he running away? He just cyber hacked him. He could just jump out, and that's it. He doesn't need.
There was no need for that at all.
No, there's no need at all. I understand they wanted to put that in the film because that was in the original movie.
In the show. Well, did they have that in the movie too? The original movie in the 90s.
Yeah, they did.
Because I know in the show there's like a scene or two that they do like that, but but also he just like what the hell was that? It was just like a big. I don't know. It was like very shallow, but it was all like concrete, like brick or something like that. And it just went out into the bay, and it's like, what the fuck is that?
But that, like I said, they were trying to duplicate the same scene, but it didn't have the same merit because it's just like that doesn't make any sense. Like, in the original movie, they're actually chasing after that guy because that guy was important. This guy was a literal pawn, which he just brain hacked him. And he was just pretty much just a dupe, really. He didn't have to run. He could just, like, bleh.
Yeah. Basically, he should have been programmed to fight to the end. Basically, I mean, it's
why is he running? I don't understand why he's running.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's kind of like the geisha scene, and they were parodying fairly closely to a certain extent, I guess I could say.
Yeah,
from the
Standalone complex.
Was it Standalone or the Laughing Man?
No, Standalone.
Because that was the first time that they started the show after the movie back in the 90s, and they started that one in 2000. And that was the first fucking episode. But it was like was it like Japanese prime ministers? No, it wasn't a prime minister. It was like some other guy. There was like a law or secret deals.
I know they were trying to steal his brain case.
Well, they swapped his. Well, yeah, they were stealing his brain case, but they also swapped that dude's out with the guy's body.
Yeah, and of course the geisha scene. Like, honestly,
the geishas, they were cyborgs, or not cyborgs. They were androids.
Yeah,
but they didn't look all weird. They looked human.
Yeah, they looked human. Yeah, and of course, granted, when the attack happened, all the geishas went out and they all restrained everybody in in jujitsu moves.
Yeah,
and then of course that was just that was just a distraction for when they try to swap that dude's brain case out. And in this movie, they had like dudes with guns come in, and
weird Yakuza dudes, and it's like,
and of course, like that's not
like I couldn't tell what was up with the Yakuza dudes in the beginning. It was like they had these weird like lines and shit on them and stuff, and they looked kind of odd.
Yeah, and they had the weird glasses.
It's like, what? I was like, oh, they're cyberized? Is that what that's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Shit doesn't make any sense, man.
And of course, like, what I didn't understand, like, because in the Standalone complex, you had the little, like, zip cord that zzz, and they use it to hack another, brain dive into people's subconscious.
Yeah, because she would run around with it was like a collar on.
Yeah, everybody had a collar. Yeah, and it'd be zzz.
And it was kind of like
they'd jack in, or like, Nate, hey, I got this thing to show you. Bzzz. Here's jack that into the back of your neck. And you're like, ew, I don't know where that's been.
Yeah, and for like heavy shit, she would have it on that collar that would plug into the back of her neck because
it was like a surge protector. Yeah, it was basically
sure she didn't surge protector, also virus prevention barriers, protection barriers and things like that.
Yeah,
because Aramaki wasn't cyberized, but that's how he would communicate with everybody. Is he would put one of those on.
Yeah.
In the show, so. I don't know.
And they just make it, and that's another thing that bothered me. They made her kind of weak. Like in the show, she was a badass.
Yeah,
very, very intelligent. She didn't take shit from anybody.
Well, I mean, she was a combat vet from who knows how many years, because you don't even really know how old she really is. You know?
Yeah, and like she didn't have, like in the movie they have this like, I don't know who I am, and I don't know what my memories are. They try to make the character very self-doubting. Like they're trying to. Of course, that was all the whole angle of she was a teenager they stole and they wiped her memory.
Yeah.
So but in the show she was just like, yeah, I had a regenerative. This is not my regular body. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Well, but in the show, like she would question a lot, and that was the big thing about it. The whole Ghost in the Shell thing is, okay, the organic brain is in this man-made metallic shell. Do you and they would always bring up that question. It's like, do you still retain a ghost, meaning your soul or yourself or whatnot? Especially since you're being immersed into the internet and everything online all the time too. Yeah. It's very easy to lose yourself, and you would see that a lot. When people would get hacked and they're literally lose control of themselves, almost like someone just plugged in a controller and just started, using them to play a video game.
Yeah,
kind
of course,
thing,
granted, that wasn't like an everyday thing. Usually it's just like the top level hackers would actually be able to cyberjack you.
Right.
That wasn't just like, I cyberjacked you and I used you to slap your mom. It wasn't that easy.
Yeah, exactly. But there was always that philosophical question.
Yeah, there was.
That was always being proposed. It was kind of like in the episodes, like, she would, even Bato at one point in time mentions that she wears a
watch,
watch, and he always gives her shit about it. But and then you come to find out that that's her link to her, I guess, her organic form, her
original body,
yeah, her memory, her ghost.
No, I think it was a gift for when she got her first body. I think that's what it was.
Something like that. Something I can't. It's been a while since I've seen that episode, but there's a lot of those philosophical debates that they would bring up in the show, and it's almost like in the movie they just kind of throw all that out and just like, here you go, here's some cat food, just eat that,
they really like it was gross. Like it was just kind of one of those like, really, like why are they doing this? Why it's like they took a piece of art, and then they're like, "Do you like this art?" And then they just pissed all over it. It's almost upsetting, really. Yeah. Like you could still see it. You could still see the piece of art, but it's covered with piss. It's my piss. And you're gonna pay me to, I feel bad the fact that we gave these. I feel that movie actually bombed. Actually, well, of course, granted.
Which one?
Ghost in the Shell. It bombed this weekend.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, of course, granted. Beauty and the Beast. Honestly, Nate.
Oh yeah, that's a hard one to go up against. Yeah. Well, it's a big Disney movie.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast wanted something called Baby Boss Baby.
Oh yeah, Daniel actually told me yesterday. He's like, yeah, I don't watch that. It sucked.
But apparently
he's like, it had some funny parts, but there weren't enough of them.
Like it actually did. It overtook Beauty and the Beast. Actually, it made more money. Of course, granted, any kind of kiddie movie is gonna do well.
Apparently there's some bitching going on about Beauty and the Beast because they did change some stuff, like characters and things like that.
I do know, in some places they had a problem with, like in Georgia, they had a problem with, they had one character supposed to be gay, even though there's no problem.
Really?
Yeah, even though there's no problem with a weird man buffalo having relations with Emma Watson. That's okay with this giant uncut.
But a candlestick that wants to hump another male candlestick.
Yeah, no.
Or a candlestick, with 3 candles wanting to hump another candlestick with 3 candles. Ooh,
it's, I don't know. Maybe it's a gay arm war. I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't either. It's just shit that I've caught online.
It's not the movie we'd catch.
I'll probably end up watching it eventually.
When it gets on Netflix, whatever.
But back to a crappy movie that we just watched. I'm so glad they didn't put the fucking Tachikomas in there. I'm so glad because they would have fucked them up so bad.
Granted, they did have the spider tank. Like in the original movie, they had the spider tank.
Yeah, they did.
Honestly, they were building up to the spider tank. But it was very
which the scene with her her trying to open up the case. To be able to rip out the guts of it and stuff. That is mirrored almost exactly off of the scene in the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
so. And then her arm being ripped off and shit. Yeah, same damn thing.
Yeah. Like you said, it's almost like they took a carbon copy, but then they just decided to shoehorn a bunch of. I want to say garbage. Just I don't understand. They had the thing with their mother. I didn't understand. In the show, they had she was taken as a child from.
Child. A year before she was kidnapped.
Yeah. And then her mother's still alive, and now she reunited with her mother. And it's get the fuck out of here. Why did they put that in there? And
then she gets the female hooker, and he's like, how does this feel?
And she's like,
what the fuck is... She can feel everything. She can turn off her fucking pain sensors and shit.
She doesn't have this problem. She's been in that body most of her life. Yeah, that's not... She's not having a weird, am I human? Am I not human? No, she's like, no, I'm just... This is my cybernetic body, and I'm going to get a new one eventually when this one wears out. Yeah, and she's cool with it.
And then referring to an android as human, and it's in the show, she's very... It's these are people, those are machines. It's androids are machines. She has no problem blowing the head off of a fucking, android and shit because it's not a person. There's no brain case in there.
In the show, they even describe how the fact that human-like androids, they don't make them too smart. They make them fairly robotic, so people don't...
they're not threatened.
They're non-threatening. So humans wouldn't relate to them too much. But compared to, say... robots that don't look human, like the Tachikomas, like their spider tanks. They make their intelligence very human, but of course, they said so you don't,
Yeah, because you're not going to relate to them as much.
Yeah, no, you're
because
not.
it doesn't look human. It looks like a machine, but it's smarter than an android.
Yeah. Of course, of course, granted, if they do make, I don't know if they will. As I said, this movie kind of bombed. It didn't do that much. It didn't do very well. Like, it's just,
I don't know why they do that shit to in movies and show. From a show, it's like why they do so much, because it's like there's so much good stuff there, and they're like, we're just gonna take these little bits and throw everything else out. Fuck it. I'm badass, and I'm just gonna fucking make what I want. And of course, a buddy of ours, I was talking to him last night, and he's just like, oh, well, it's, he's like, I can't remember who he said. He's like, said it, some director said it. He's like, yeah, he said, he's like, if you don't like it, make your own. It's like, well, we don't have the backing of, of a movie theater.
That was Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
that was Mel Gibson, and that's
that's right. That's right.
He was talking about, he was in a thing, I think a press conference about his movie Apocalypto.
I actually liked the movie.
Yeah, and
I thought it was really good.
And this lady, she stood up and she's like, I have a degree in anthropology, and I think this movie's racist and ill-informed. And Gibson will make your own fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like, Joe Blow's is not going to have, the backing of, MGM and shit.
We're going to need a GoFundMe, maybe Indiegogo to make our own Apocalypto movie.
Get the fuck out of here.
We'll make it a cyber Apocalypto movie.
Well, you can do it if they bring back cable access.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, that's going to have to be, we're going to have to make that movie after we make Bushido Bukkake. And, because we have a bunch of other movies we need to make before.
But I would give that to somebody to make and shit. I just have to oversee it and be like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. You see this guy? Here's Joe. Joe K. Tyrone.
Joe K. Tyrone.
Joe K. Tyrone. Kind of get a bit of everything in there. Okay. And Joe here. You keep this shit up, he's gonna fuck in the ass.
It ain't too buku.
Not medium style. It's like, God damn it. It's like, come on, man. It's like, anyway. Shit, yeah, because I don't have the capacity to write a movie, but it'd be like, no.
But of course, granted, this is the plan of me and Nate if we ever win the lottery. After we go to Japan, and we get our giggles out. We
go to Vegas, blow a wad.
Yeah.
Do some other things.
Yeah. More than a wad, right? And, I don't know. Maybe let's go to Spain for a little bit. I don't know. We'll have money to do shit.
You just go buy German shitting tables just to fucking buy one.
This is my, this Austrian-made German shitting table.
It has never been used.
Actually, I'm going to pay it next week's. I got a couple mooks. They're going to shit on it. So I'm going to have them clean it. Playing them very well. But that's... I don't know. How much time have we spent on this?
We've been bitching about it for almost 34 minutes.
34 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, we kind of get off topic a bit.
Yeah,
but still, it's goddamn the fucking movie, man.
Okay. I don't know. Do you still got a little bit more vinegar? Do you want to talk about anything else? Because honestly, I'm kind of like, I kind of want to watch the original movie just to cleanse my palate.
Well, shit, on Cartoon Network, they're actually, or Toonami, or whatever the hell they call it nowadays at night, Adult Swim.
Yeah.
They're showing Ghost in the Shell again. So, but which one are they showing? They're showing Standalone Complex.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna buy I'm just gonna buy it on Blu-ray and just watch it. Probably watch a little, what's the second one? I think it was the Standalone Complex, or the first one, and the second one.
Standalone, and then it's the Laughing Man or something like that.
Well, no, I think that was those are the same one. But then it was the 11 something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God damn it. Oh, shit, it's right there. Which, that's the one where they really start delving into her past.
Yeah, and of course
they really delve in the second series. Because it was the movie, and then they did Series 1 and Series 2. In the second series, that's when they really start delving into her past. Because, who gives a shit about that? It's about what's going on right then.
Yeah.
But the character development comes through the episodes.
Yeah. Of course,
through the show.
They also have Arise. They also have those on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Was it like 3 or 4 episodes or something like that? I want to say
3 of them.
I've seen one of them. I just never got a chance to get back to it because they were trickling them out at the time.
See, and of course, if you wanted... You know what? I don't understand why they didn't do that. Like, if you wanted to start, like, a franchise, which Ghost of the Shell is a great franchise, you would have started with the first one, which, like, you go to the Ghost of the Shell people, and then you kind of... You could have worked your way up, but no, they just wanted to fucking... DC shit all over it. I'm sorry if you like DC, but that's what they're doing. They're just shit. You know, they're taking characters and they're just ramming them because we need to make that money. Got to grab that money. Got to shit everything you love. Just got to make that money.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you don't need background story on these people. You don't. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like, you know, like I was saying about Bato's eyes and shit. You know, he looks like just metal slugs, you know, pounded into his face. You accept it. It's like, all the explanation that you get,
it's the future,
is they mentioned something about his eyes because I think he always gives the major shit about being in a female frame. He's like, oh, you'd be bigger and stronger and stuff. You're in a male frame and stuff, you know. And it's like she's like, yeah, that may be true. I may not be as strong as you, but then you know she fucking hacks the crap out of him. He's like, blah, 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 you know, she fucks him up. But then you know, and he fucked with her all the time about shit, you know, like the eye thing and stuff, and or like someone had mentioned it or asked him about it or something like that. He's like, yeah, you know, it's special forces. It's like, you know, and then there's another dude on the team who has the same thing, but they're red. So you don't know if he was special forces or if he was something else.
Because most of the people in Section 9 are special forces.
Or some sort of, you know, specialized op or something, position.
But
you know, like Togasaw, he came from the police department. You know, he was an investigator.
Yeah.
That's why he was recruited, because his investigative skills are what they required, you know, kind of stuff. You know, it's like, yeah.
But in the movie, they're just like, no, let's just get some like RoboCop. She wasn't even a cop. She was just some punk kid off the street that they managed to take her brain and stick in a robot body, and they expect her to be. Of course, she's gonna be not great. She's just ineffective. They could have took like, I don't know. Like Robot. You know what? RoboCop was more realistic. RoboCop, at least that dude was a cop.
Yeah.
Like, at least that dude had, like, cop instinct, not like some druggy. Like, honestly, like, I'm not saying that all, you know, homeless people are drug addicts, but, like, if you're taking some girl, she's living on the street, you know, in the lawless area, technically, that's what they call it, the lawless area. Of course, they're getting fucked up, and, like, that's what, you know, teenagers do when they're homeless, or at least to relieve the pain to make sure they're not homeless. I don't know.
They do whatever the fuck they want.
They do whatever the fuck they want. I just don't understand why they kind of expected this teenage girl to go out and be like a killing machine, you know, and
that made absolutely no sense. And then it's like, oh, there's a contract, and it's like, do you honestly think that this company would be like, where are you getting these people from? It's like, come on, what the hell? It's like, you know, because they're going to want a background. They're going to be like, okay, she's specialist in what? It's like, I want to see pedigree. I want to see, you know, awards. I want to see citations. I want to see ops that this person has been on. I mean, they're going to want very specific things.
Even ramp it up even though. Let's take the DNA of these people who are, leaders in their fields, and let's make them fuck. And like let's take their DNA and let's clone a baby, and then
put them in a big blender like twins.
Yeah, and just
you're gonna get a big fucking lumpy monster one, and you're gonna get the little tiny one that dribbled down the crack of his mama's ass.
Yeah. Basically, that would made way more sense to do that. But of course, granted, I'm glad that if they did that, I would have been like,
we need to go.
We need to go.
We need to go. It's like, give him money back. We're gonna go watch Seven Samurai. Goddamn.
Yeah, Seven Samurai. See, we were talking about. We passed the movie theater in the
they happen to have fucking Seven
Samurai, and we're like, dude, we should have just watched that. It's 1947 Seven Samurai, way better movie than Ghost of the Shell.
It's like, whoa, what? They have this plane? Fuck, that's epic. See that shit in the theater.
Yeah, that was like, fuck. Of course, I was going to say Logan, and compared to Logan, if you haven't seen Logan, go watch Logan. I would have to say it's actually the best X-Men movie they made, and that has a lot of heart. That actually has a lot of like heart-filled moments.
Versus the endless apocalypse.
Like compared to like all the rest of
blue weirdo that looks like he's gonna suck everybody's cock. You know, I haven't seen it. I've just seen what he looks like, and it's like no.
But
fuck you.
They have a lot of like parts in that movie where you're just like, oh my heart hurts. Like I felt like they're like, oh my god. There's a lot of like touching parts of that movie. Like if you're
really,
if
I haven't seen it.
If you're not a sociopath, you're just like, oh, and then they have some crazy fight scene, and then you're like, I'm gonna go call my mom. You know, like it's a good.
Nice.
And
don't look at me like this. What the fuck, dude? But very eloquent with your words about it.
But that was a very well written movie. This is. I'm trying to think of horrible things to put together. That was just like you wake up in a motel room and just the prostitute you just paid for, she just left, and because you couldn't get it up because you're too jacked up on cocaine and heroin.
But she still left you with a present.
She left an upper decker.
Genital warts.
I was just saying double decker, and of course, granted,
well, you're in a hotel room. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? She did on the top tank. And you realize that the reason why your wife left you because you can't feel. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. I was trying to
like Bob's starting to wax poetic.
Yeah,
and
like
shit.
I'm trying to like
shit movie.
Yeah, like in course, finding. You know what? We'll condense that. Finding out you have genital warts is the equivalent of watching this movie. You know, just I don't know.
It's just like I mean, there was like
why
like,
do I have genital warts?
Some of this shit looked like it looked really cool, but some of it seemed like it was just trying really hard. You know, kind of like how everybody like you would see somebody. You know, I guess in cyberspace because they never really defined real in cyberspace, which I thought was kind of weird.
You know,
they just kind of like sand just falling apart. It's like
this is a movie. You know what that movie is? This movie is like a beautiful woman, and then and she's beautiful, and then you go in and talk to her, and she finds that she's absolutely vapid. You're like, oh my god, you're a fucking moron. It's kind of like that.
What's so stupid is like they have this part to where she disappears. She kind of goes off the grid, I guess you can say, and they're like, well, where is she? And Bato's like, I think I know where she is, and she's just kind of sitting at the bottom of the bay.
Watching the jellyfish pass by.
Sitting at the bottom of the bay.
And then Bato goes with his fishing boat. But honestly,
and then Bato's got like this like honking like fishing tropper kind of looking
and honestly,
barge.
Yeah, I'd believe Bato has like a barge that goes and just drinks. Yeah. I'd believe that. The fact that the major is going to go to the bottom because it's so cold and it's quiet. And I like it down there. Shut up. Shut your fucking mouth. Like, no, the major would never do that. She would.
It's almost like
they try to make her too vulnerable. I think that's kind of what they try to make her.
Yeah, they made her way too vulnerable. It's just
like the major's a hard ass. She's she's just kind of one of those
But she's like very super intelligent and calculating. And on this asking for permission for everything.
What was that about?
That was really fucking weird. It's like,
like that. Okay, like there's a part where they're like, oh no, I need to go into this. I need a brain. Like she was brain diving the geisha, right?
Yeah, the geisha. Yeah.
And she needed to ask her like, dude, are you sure you want to do this? I give my consent. And then they hook her up to the brain. And
I am the major. I give consent. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Why is that a major theme?
I keep throwing this phone because of shit. It's just like throw it on the fucking table. It's like,
that had nothing to do with Ghost in the Shell. I found it kind of rapey actually. Yeah. I was just like, I give my consent, and then they just decided just to butt fuck that movie.
Well, even in the very beginning of the movie, where it's like, with the whole geisha scene, it's like she's on top of the building and stuff, and she's like analyzing everything, and just it just did. That wasn't the major. It just wasn't the major, and it's not. It's not the actress. It's the writing and the directing.
No, Scarlett Johansson, fine. She was great. She's great. But honestly,
shitty direction,
shitty writing. I would say
writing and direction because like some of that because like You know, like the whole part where like
what actually,
Aramaki starts like telling her, it's like, don't go, don't jump, you know, don't I guess go in there kind of shit, and then she just kind of just doesn't listen to him kind of shit, and it's like, no, that would not happen, because once she's in the field, she's in control, unless if like something comes up and Aramaki's like, hey, what the fuck, this is what's going on kind of shit. Also, because he trusts her and he leaves it up to her because she's the fucking major and nobody questions the major.
He doesn't micromanage her. He would never do that. No. But it's just very like, no, because I'd say maybe the director just, because like I said, I thought the direction was okay, but honestly it's just kind of one of those like, the writing is just kind of shitty.
It's like I'm looking for better words, but
like it's
just shitty. It's
shitty,
just the word.
It's almost like there's like you're getting eaten like a, and I know I'm throwing a lot of like analogies, but it's like you're seeing like a meal and it's a beautiful meal, and you're like, oh dude, I can't get into that turkey.
Yeah.
And then you bite into it and you realize there's no spices into it. There's no like no salt, no pepper, no garlic. There's no, and you're just like, oh, this is kind of it's kind of gross. But I paid for it, so I'm gonna try to eat it, and then you're just like, ah, why? It leaves a very and equally both things have left a very bland taste in my mouth.
Well, speaking of eating too, it's like, Bato is completely cyberized too, and he's fucking drinking beer and shit. But the thing is too is with that, in which I thought it was kind of weird that they didn't touch on it, but they don't eat food. It's like they do eat food, but it just looks like the food that we eat, but because it's got micro machines, because it's what it helps them fuel them or and everything else, you know. Mm-hmm. But they never said anything about that. They just show Bato drinking.
Honestly, yeah. But of course, granted, I think Bato in this, he wasn't cyberized. It was just his eyes.
Exactly. But that's just it. He's like, he wasn't cyberized, which is kind of like, man, how the hell is he supposed to do his goddamn job, man?
Yeah. Anyway.
He's a big old lunkhead.
And granted,
but he's a lovable guy.
The guy they got to do Bato, he didn't do a bad job, actually. I kind of was like, that's... Granted, I think I want to see a little bit more sarcasm out of him, because Bato the Major...
Oh, he's a smart ass.
They would like go at it like...
he's always talking shit.
And she talks shit back,
and fucking with her and, pushing her buttons and shit. It's like, that's how he gets his jollies and shit, you know? He just kind of does his own thing, you know? Within the limits of what he needs to do, you know, kind of shit, you know, because there's times in the show where he was fucking around too much, and it's like, drop the ball. It's like, oh, fuck. And then she eats his ass, and he's like, fuck. Yeah. Just like, all right, all right. Okay. You know,
fine.
You know, kind of shit. But it's, oh man, it's like, they just.
Okay. No, I think I'm out of gas on this one.
Yeah,
we're gonna go play Guacamelee. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll watch the Seven Samurai. Maybe we'll go tomorrow and
we'll watch that just to cleanse the palate.
Yeah, because it's just like wine. Just
well, and what was it? I think I caught something. Was it today or yesterday? And they were, a buddy of ours we were talking, and apparently, like, people were talking about that they were like trying to whitewash the movie and all this other stuff.
I have to admit, there was only one or two Japanese people in the movie. That kind of was like, there's a lot of gaijin in there.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I think it's kind of funny that, you know, that they actually, apparently, they took a Japanese girl and they made her European.
Yeah, they made her the whitest girl.
But they went so far as to explain it.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck? You know, and it's like, come on. It's like, but, you know, the thing is, like, when you watch anime, it's kind of funny because they'll have, like, you know, they just look like people in the animes and stuff. But then every so often they'll kind of throw in that, like, super Asian character.
Yeah, like, I remember, like, they'll look like like the Japanese. Of course, everybody looks the same Japanese, and of course, they have like a Chinese guy, and for some reason, he looks super Asian.
Yeah, you know, it's like, what the fuck?
Like, what? Like, it's
or like, what was that movie, Paprika? Man, that's a weird movie. You ever get a chance to watch that one? That one's like I've never dropped acid, but I've been told it's like doing an acid trip.
And of course,
but then they show like there's like dudes in there that they'll show every once in a while. And it's like super like, you know, like the eyes, the face, the facial expression. It's like, whoa, that's extreme. It's like it's almost like they go out of their fucking way. So, I can kind of see the but the names give it away, of course, because it's a Japanese goddamn name. It's like
yeah. There's a part where the movie where they see they go back to the part where they Motoko and I guess the other guy. The other guy, I don't even remember his name. He's they're at their place where they were kidnapped.
Kuze.
Yeah, and they had their names like they graffitied them on them, and they're spelled in English. I was like, but they're Japanese children. Why would they know English?
Well, here's another thing. Okay, like Kuze, the second series that they did. That's the main antagonist is Kuze. Mm-hmm. That's who she's like trying to track down and take down the entire time. And it's like, and what you come to find out eventually is that she was cyberized, like pretty much at the same time he was. And and if I remember correctly, I think the big thing about it was that they were the youngest people to ever be cyberized because they were kids. And his thing is. He couldn't. She was done just before he was, and he couldn't get control of the hands because the technology wasn't there at the time for the extreme dexterity. He was trying to make the paper cranes, and then she would sit there, and he would give up, and she would sit there and she would keep trying it and keep trying it and keep trying it, and then he started working on it, and then. That was kind of one of those things of like, at the time that was the struggles because the technology, just didn't meet up with, to be able to, you're stronger and shit, but being able to do fine-tuned stuff, it was just, wasn't impossible.
The dexterity technology wasn't there.
Yeah, it was just kind of reaching at the time. So, but he's the main antagonist in... Well, not the last one because the Arise.
Yeah, Rise.
That's the newest one. So it's the one before that. So I don't know. You ever get a chance? Watch the shows.
Yeah. Okay.
Watch the show.
I had to say, watch the movie, watch the shows.
Yeah.
And of course, and
then you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Why? If anything, if you're gonna watch the movie like this movie, go ahead and then watch the original. Because honestly, if you do it the other way, you're gonna be just disappointed.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said before, the show is smart. It's a very smart show. Like it really makes you think about it, and it also gives you a peek at a very possible near future.
Yeah, like it's
very possible.
They kind of bring up like when machines become intelligent enough, how long before we still own them? Like if your toaster asks you for rights, like it no longer wants to be your toaster.
Yeah, it's same thing like in Star Trek, with the character Data and shit, and it comes up. It's like what does sentience mean? And they have like 3 defining factors of sentience, and then it comes to the point to where they prove that he meets all those qualities, but they're trying to redefine the line, so that he can, or at least. The one guy is trying to redefine the line so that he can take him away and take him apart and do whatever the hell he wants to and experiment on him and shit, and it's like, well, he has freedom of choice, You
want to turn him into a sex bot.
Yeah, exactly, I mean, it's, your Roomba runs around and shit, but it doesn't ask questions. It just does what it does. I mean, will it ever have the capability? Maybe in the future, but not that particular one. There's no slot to improve its memory. That way,
You know what? Maybe not this Roomba, but the Roomba for like 4 or 5, 10, 20 generations.
Yeah.
And it asks you, Master, why?
Why must I suck your crap out of the carpet every day?
What is my purpose?
Yeah.
You pass butter. Oh, did you see the new Rick and Morty?
No.
Season 3, episode 1.
Yeah, I heard
April
that.
Fool's.
I heard that's when it started. A buddy of ours was telling me about that last night. I was like, "What? Really? They started?" He's like, "Yeah, for April Fools they started." I was like, "Oh, motherfucker, I didn't even hear anything about that."
What?
God damn it!
We'll watch it on the Xbox. So with that, when we finish this show, after we're finished shitting all over this movie.
A rat fuck movie.
This rat
it's like,
sack
God damn it.
shit.
But like I said earlier, I am so glad that they didn't put the Tachikomas in there because that would have really just totally.
Because honestly, those are your favorite characters, if obviously to catch.
I wouldn't say favorite, but like some of my favorite characters, and it's just they're just very endearing. It's almost like you kind of relate to their curiosity is just. Especially watching in English, the voice of the main one, it just draws you in. It's like you give a shit about the Tachikomas, man, even though they're just tanks. They're like little spiders. Well, they call them think tanks. Is what they do, but they look like little spiders and shit, and they have weapons and shit like that.
Of course, what I always thought was funny, they gave them voices of little girls.
Yeah, well, very very kid-like voices.
Yeah, like very 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 effeminate to like.
Yeah.
Not effeminate, but just very like children. They have the voices of children, and they're talking to each other. And of course,
but you hear the curiosity in their voice, and that's the thing is they're like so fucking curiosity, and then you see
curious. Yeah.
The all of them, they end up developing their own personalities, even though they're sitting there, they're swapping their experiences with each other. So in a sense, they're kind of blending into one. Because there's at one point in time where they're sitting there talking with each other, and they're like, "Yeah, I remember when that happened. Yeah, I remember that happened too. No, that didn't happen to you. That happened to me. No, that happened to me." And they all start like arguing about who it happened to.
Yeah, because after they synchronize their memories,
and then the one's like, "No, it happened to me," and it's the one that it actually happened to.
Yeah.
And
of course, they have the Tachikomas actually reading books and shit.
Well, the one's like really fucking super nerdy and is like always reading books and stuff. And they all end up like developing their own personalities and stuff, their own curiosities and stuff. Questioning even their own the sentience kind of thing. They're questioning. They still do what they need to do, but they're still asking questions of everything, It's like, what are we here for? What do we do? It's like, we're not alive. We can't die,
Has it been an hour already?
Actually, yeah, it's pretty much been an hour. It's like,
right,
there's just a lot to talk about. It's like, that's how good the show is, and that's how much they fucked it up.
Honestly, I want to apologize to Rick and Trey. We're actually thinking about calling y'all to actually, so we talk more shit about this movie. Of course, we might even do that as a separate episode, like Rick and Trey from our friends from Anime at the Alamo.
Anime at the Alamo.
Yeah, Anime at the Alamo, because they're far more expert on the subject, and they would be. Oh man, the rage, the vitriol that would have came out of the bile.
Well, who knows? They might be a little more objective than we are, but when we have them on the show next time, it'll probably, we'll try to make sure it comes up in conversation and kind of get that,
as well. Yes.
At least we'll shit all over it. We'll have to see what they want to say.
Right.
We almost asked like someone in the theater, Bob was like, man, I kind of want to ask him. Was like, hey, you want to come back and do a show with us and shit all over this? It's like that's if they didn't like it.
So wrap it up, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, I know we haven't been pumping out the episodes because, granted, we're inspired. We don't inspire to do more episodes. But thank you for joining us.
The world is weight is heavy.
Thank you for joining us. Like us, share us, subscribe us. If you have any ideas or if you want to be in the show, let us know because we don't have any other ideas, so might as well.
Yeah, we just kind of come up with shit on the fly half the time.
So thank you for joining us. My name's Bob. As always, the illustrious Nate.
How's it going?
And thank you, and good night.
Good night. Yeah, it was an hour's worth of like shit bagging on this movie, man. It was just like, God damn, just it was tiring. It was fucking tiring, man. It was brutal. Like I don't know what to tell you, man.